to the next Croc show. 9th, dude, already of November.
Hell yeah.
What do you think about that? Not sure. We might not have Jimmy tonight. I know he had a bunch of stuff going on with the property, and Brett's handling some family issues, so I want to leave that there. They'll, if they can, they can. Bumblebee should be here, though. We got to talk about some stuff. I want to go over things that we were looking at as far as cryptids by state. What's up, Michelle?
Oh, let me get to my comments.
And some other cool stuff that we did this week. As a matter of fact, we did a whole bunch of really good, fun things. Went to the fair.
Nice.
Fair with some friends. We had a really good time at the Hillsboro. It was pretty cool.
Oh, the Hillsboro Fair is going on already?
Yep.
Damn, I don't even know that shit, man. I got Repticon there this weekend.
Yeah, is that coming up at the it was at the
fairgrounds
over there off 60. It wasn't where they hold the what do you call it? The reptile show. And isn't there an oddity show as well this weekend?
Yeah, it's downtown somewhere. It's not at the fairgrounds.
No, but the reptile show is at the fairgrounds tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir.
What's up, Craig? How you doing, brother?
What's up, Craig? It's Saturday and Sunday. I'm loading in tomorrow just to get the stuff out of the way, and I got to start packing up the reptile room. Got to make the final push this week.
That's amazing, bro. I got to tell you, that mustache game you got going on
strong. You like that shit?
Yeah.
I just paid for my respirator test, and I'm like, maybe I'll keep it for a little while.
That's pretty tight, dude.
I'm kind of digging the porn stash.
I like it, man. It's one of the first things
I appreciate it.
I want to do.
I know I got a bunch of compliments on it this week at work. I was surprised. People were like, I like the stash. I'm like, cool.
Oh, dude, it's awesome.
I just didn't want to shave completely, for the respirator test. I really didn't need to shave at all, but they make you do it anyway. So I had to take it down with a razor, like a Bic. And I don't think there's been a sharp razor up against my face. I can't even remember, maybe 20 years, 25 years like that.
Right.
I saw my old piercing scars and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about all that shit.
Yeah, dude. How cool is that, though? I know we like you too. This is Chucky.
What up, Chucky? I saw that.
Chucky talks.
Oh, that's sweet. Nice. That's awesome, man.
Well, he's actually no, not right now. Relax. He's actually a popcorn holder that they were selling at
Spooky
Halloween Horror Nights, of course.
Okay.
And so we got him rocking and rolling. I was like, hey, Chucky, you want to play? No, he doesn't want to play. He only wants to play when you say
until the end, man.
Are you done, Chucky? Okay. He likes to be hugged. Did you hear him? Let's see if we can get on. You want to come up to the camera?
Likes to be hugged.
How cool you really are. Hey, Chucky.
Playtime's over.
Uh-oh, playtime's over. We're in trouble now.
Yeah, he's actually a really good little guy. We'll let you sit over here, Chuck. Let me put my finger on your ass here and turn you off.
Have you watched the Chucky series? What's up, Michael?
Yes, I have. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like so bad it's good.
Yeah, I just love what he does, man. What's up, Michael? How you doing? It's so funny in the Firehouse Respiratory Fit Test Week. Oh.
Yeah, there's all the Tampa Fire Rescue guys all rocking mustaches the last week or so. Because I don't think they actually can't have beards though, because of the fireman mask things.
Oh yeah, I bet that would be. Whoa!
What's up, Paranormal Mama?
Hi.
What's happening?
Hey, what do we got? Headphones on? Are we DJing tonight? What's going on? What are we doing?
DJ Barbieri's in the house. No,
DJ Barbie.
Who's that?
no, my my earbuds were dead, and so I was like, I have a pair of headphones. Like, I've never tried headphones with my mic before, so I'm like, I'll just try it. And I'm like, I actually kind of like it. It really muffles out everything. It's very tuned in, but I'm just making sure it's turned up because otherwise.
So, anything else exciting happened this week, Jeff, on your end of things? So we can be tuned and then get into the nitty gritty.
I worked. Had a few rough patients that I worked on. It's a long-term care. Well, it's a long-term care floor, but they're not supposed to be doing long-term care there. It's like trach patients and vent-dependent patients that aren't sick enough for the ICU, but can't really go home and don't have a rehab to go to.
Right.
A lot of the rehabs won't take them if they have history of drug abuse or stuff like that. Oh. So I had to work on one of those floors. It's kind of gross because I got to clean a bunch of trachs and shit. So yeah, it's the first thing they teach you in respiratory schools. Don't stand in front of an open trach like fucking rockets. But no accidental insertions this week or anything fun like that.
Oh my God.
Patient or me. I've been trying to get moved. I've been packing up the last of the stuff, and the more stuff I take out of the cabinets, the more chaotic it is in the house. So it's like once I start getting stuff out to the porch, and out of the house, I'll be able to kind of put it in perspective, because it's hard to know where to start. Like 8 half-filled boxes. And it's like the boxes in the beginning are all nice and neat, and they're all like everything from the kitchen and this, and they're all labeled. And by the end, you're just throwing stuff in there and taping it shut. So you got like kids'
You're
toys,
like
snake stuff, and shit. Doesn't matter. It's like half full, so it's all jingling around. That's
You're like, whatever, it'll get there.
Exactly.
It just needs to get there.
Exactly. And just chugging along with the move. I got the show coming up. I'm going to try to move some stuff to make some room for some more snakes. And
that's cool.
So Jeff's actually taken all of his stuff out to the Ball Python Expo this weekend.
Except I don't have ball python.
He's going to have
the guy.
The hognose, folks.
I got hognose. I got some King
Corey, what's up, homie?
That I'm selling some adult pairs and kind of getting rid of a lot of odds and ends that I don't have a male for or a female for other breeds. So yeah, kings, rats. I got a couple of rat snakes. I got a lot of shit to go. It should be a good show. Hopefully, I need it to kick ass. So y'all come down and buy some snakes.
Where is it at?
At the Tampa Fairgrounds.
Oh, Tampa Fairgrounds. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. That's
Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 4 and 10 to 4.
Okay. Fun.
Whenever
you say rats, I'm like, oh, he's got pet rats? No, that's not what he means, people.
Yeah, I don't think that's what he means. But
it's not. Is it just me though? Like, have you guys been seeing those freaking videos out of the Everglades? I swear, like every time I see it, I'm like, it's the same damn snake they use over and over and over again.
Wait a second. Let me get on that real quick because I have some funny stuff about that too.
Oh, okay.
Those are cryptid Burmese pythons. They're cryptids.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I had heard when it first started.
Exist there.
What's that?
I said because they shouldn't exist there. Is that why they're a cryptid?
When I first started in that program,
those ones aren't really found like that. I mean, there's a few. Sorry, Jeff. I apologize.
No, somebody said, did you hear there's Burmese pythons mating with rattlesnakes in the Everglades? I was like, I don't know how that works because Burmese pythons lay eggs and rattlesnakes live bear. That's going to be interesting.
Wouldn't they eat them? Couldn't they eat them technically?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they could definitely. They eat snakes. They eat wading birds. They eat gators and baby gators and gator eggs. It's a circle of life. They're here to stay. They're not
very detrimental, Brittany. It's not detrimental, contrary to popular belief. Like I once have said before, we have this thing in Florida called ecotourism. Okay, and if you can make up a Bigfoot and tell them they'll charge you $500 to go out in the Bigfoot truck, ride around to look for Bigfoots, you're gonna find them, right? I mean,
awesome,
that's it.
Man.
Or you might see a pad or like a little Reese monkey or something from the Tarzan show. So ecotourism is a big deal, and they've created these monsters of the marsh and all this stuff. And I think that's great. I mean, that's cool and everything, but it makes it hard to be legitimate. Like it makes it hard to really I understand the importance of invasive species for those of you that are watching that know that I understand the business. And I also understand propaganda. Sure. I understand the overstretch of truth for profit. So that's one of the real things that we never really touch on. But
plus they get federal money too by claiming they have a python problem, and it's they really need to go after the people that are really ruining the Everglades, like Big Sugar.
Yeah, fucking
housing developments and
the people who fucked up the Everglades, hands down, is the Army Corps of Engineers.
Oh yeah, because they dug all those levees
the entire pooch on that.
Yep. They turned a swamp into a bunch of
Corey. The media definitely blows it out of proportion, 100%. And we've all been down there.
Yep.
I know that Corey and Dan and a lot of them guys used to go down there.
We've caught a couple pythons together, you and me, Troy.
We have. Yep.
We caught two that one weekend with Ricky and Justin.
Yeah. Right. That's right. And just so you were clear, Jeff was an actual agent. He went down there all the time and in places that average people can't go to that don't have keys. Like we had to go to levees. Jeff had to call in. He talked about how many firearms were in the car, how many people were there, what he was driving. And we drove those fucking things for hours. And not one time did I see Gigantosaurus Titana.
No, I think the biggest one we caught was about 11 feet, but it was pretty skinny.
Yeah, most of them are. So I don't know about that are like this.
There's some thick ones out there, but
I also remember that a lot of times when we're watching that, the generational gap of these adult men that are catching these snakes now, you're talking about guys that are 5 feet tall and 5'4". You put an 11-foot snake around them and take a picture, you're like, damn, that's big. These little runts out there doing it. So you also got to take into consideration of a lot of different things: shorties, camera angles, lies, using a pet snake. I mean, there's a lot going on out there. And they say that it's possible, but I mean, who really pushes that?
Yeah,
I think that
because it makes it look cool.
What's that?
It makes it look cool to people who aren't us.
Water management.
They go, "Oh my god, that guy's holding a 19,000-foot snake out there, 700-pound Burmese. Let's go, Agnes. Get in the truck.
Yeah, let's go to the Keys. Yeah,
I'll tell you what, the freaking the Miccosukee Casino has probably never seen such good money. With all the people coming down there for that shit.
Exactly.
Staying around there. Yeah.
I hear it a lot. I'm in that industry and I hear it. And, I myself, when I go, and I'm sure Daniel hears a lot more because he definitely does a lot of work and sees a lot of people. When the Palms is full staff on Saturdays or when they're booked on Saturdays, he sees a lot of people, enough to where there was an incident where there were so many people, they were so confused on where to go in and out at. Daniel was just stuck in there, dude. He was like, he was like a chihuahua on a big person's butt crack. He couldn't, there was no way for him to move, So those stories that you hear, hey, have you guys been down south?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen the snakes that are attacking people in their yard at the barbecues and taking animals. Right. And, you don't know what to say. A lot of times you go, yeah, man, we did. They're huge. Or, yeah, you just kind of
try to tell me about it. Like as if I don't know, they'll be like, "Oh, you live in Florida? Did you hear about that python problem?" I'm like, I heard something about that.
It's like if you go to a Harley shop, motorcycle shop, and you walk in, and the salesman's standing by a bike, and he goes, "Oh yeah, this is whatever." And he goes, "Yeah, I see those all the time on my street." I'm like, "Do you? You do? You see eagle owls on your street? You see albino alligators on your street? You do?
Yeah."
Huh?
Yeah.
You see all these indigos on your street?
Oh, okay, hognose, they do it too. I used to catch those in my backyard. I'm like, no, you didn't.
Deep-to-these. It just makes no sense that you would get up and put a pair of shoes on and go out to a place of business and do what they do and then tell them, yeah, that ain't no big deal. I see those riding down my street. I mean, it just makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Well, you remember, Troy, we used to have our llamas misidentified as an ostrich.
What's mine, baby? And go.
Remember? They're like, that's one big ostrich. And I'm like, the llama?
No, I remember a time I think that somebody called when we had, not me, when the family, they're also in the animal industry, had llamas out at this convention or area, this really nice place.
It was for promotion. We were out there with the promotional
stuff, and we had llamas there for people to see. Now, remember these llamas that my family had, they treated them a little different maybe than just throwing them in the field. I mean, I remember Brittany sneaking them into the house and trying to get them to lay down in her room and stuff, and they all have tea parties and shit. I mean, these animals were treated good. But anyways, we're at an event, I think, up in Central Florida, and somebody called in and said that there's someone torturing ostriches in the parking lot. And FWC showed up looking for ostriches that were being tortured at a livestock event. It was like people call and say the dumbest things because people are really stupid, dude. Like I have a hard time with them. And I know we're taught to be nice, but I don't really think we should be nice. Like Brittany, sometimes you just have to tell someone straight, look, you're fat. Just stop. Or
I wish I could say that.
If you pick your dog, you're wrong. Not like, well,
Well, in this case, it was just so ridiculous because they actually called on the event and called about animal abuse for an animal that was not there, and there was no animal abuse happening. And then on top of that, these llamas were used also in nursing homes. Like we brought these llamas as like social anxiety animals in the nursing homes to bring like calm and peace and like have exhibit day with the animals in the nursing home. So it's like they would get on elevators and they would go up to floors and they would put their face on like. We had one llama that literally could like was very odd, but like could sense when somebody wasn't really very well. And King Creole would like literally lay his head down on the bed with these patients. Like he would do it all on his own. So it's like, it was just so, yeah, King Creole. So it's just funny that it's like it's ignorance, honestly. And I also blame part of like our education system for that, because how does a person not know what an ostrich is, right? Like what part of the education system failed that person to where they don't know what a llama versus an ostrich is? Like,
let's not even get started with the educational system, Brittany. For you to bring that up, I mean, that's.
I'm just saying, this was a person that was old enough to know better, to know the difference through basic education, to know the difference. That's all I'm saying.
100%. You know, the only education
I don't want
system
it to go the wrong way
is trade school. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, trade school.
You know,
is really, yeah.
Once you learn your basic arithmetic and how to read, write, and spell your own name. Oh, well, you know what, Scarlett? We didn't. You can have yours too. You better go tell Scarlett there's twinsies.
Yeah,
Scarlett.
A different.
So just to give you an example, like Jeff, you know, he taught a lot of people underneath him how to body pierce. Right? That's a trade, man. That's an earned trade. You get in there, like, to me, body piercing, you know, I know somebody like, that's not true. This is much harder, but blacksmith.
Trade, yeah.
You come in as an apprentice.
That's a trade.
To learn to blacksmith, right? Like you're going to be working with,
and that's how plumbers still do it, and electricians still do it. Carpenters,
100%.
Construction.
This whole educational thing, you know, Mrs. Margaret, and we're going to learn about how peas are made and shit. Fuck that. The only type of education you need is trade school. Stop lying to kids, for one. Okay, stop lying to them. We talked about it today. I don't think that a scumbag kid or a piece of shit kid should be encouraged to be a piece of shit because he's an individual. Fuck him. He's an asshole. He needs to be told to chill and understand that he can be himself without ruining people's lives. But we have to be sensitive with him because he's special. He's not special.
We're all special.
Let's just give it that way. And then you have good kids that are overlooked, and then people who want to do different things. So the educational system in itself is
broken.
I never bought into it.
I'm going to say.
To me, it was always, it's a government control thing. Let's get everybody.
I would not be mad at my kids if they didn't want to go to college. You know, if they wanted to pursue a trade. You know what master plumbers make an hour? Way more than I do.
Well, that's my point. So trade school. Jeff went to learn a trade about lungs. He learned how to help people. He went in to learn something. He didn't get stuck in there like, well, man, we're sorry, Jeff, but you don't know how to do lungs as good as Bobby over here, and you're going to dumb yourself down. You understand? And that to me is where the system fails everybody, because I've seen a lot of bright kids squashed out because they're so bright and creative, and then you have come in and they try to make them the same as them, and you can't do that, dude. There are, and don't take this personal, there are people who work at gas stations overnight. There are people who fucking stock shelves. Then there's Elon Musk. Then there's doctors. Then there's people that can save your life. I mean, everybody's got a place, but we're not all the same.
Well, it's like Elon Musk's school. He believed in the trade. He believed in learning hands-on, because he said, you can be book smart.
It's a waste of time.
He does.
Money. He said that's funding somebody. That's a waste of time. Do what you want to do. Go learn it from someone who's doing it. He said that's the best way. And that's one of the things I agree with him. I know he says a lot of things people don't like, but he has some good points too.
I was just going to say that, Greg.
Yeah.
You do what you want to do. The world needs ditch diggers. You're
absolutely Caddyshack when he's walking on the golf course. He's like, I can't really afford to go to college. He's like, the world needs ditch diggers too, Danny.
Yeah, it's true. And I got to be honest with you. When a human being works with their hands, Jeff, isn't it like the coolest thing, man? To be able to create something. I love
hands-on.
People with my hands. Hand jobs with my hands, all of it all.
Well, here's the kicker. This circles back into everything. Honestly, this can circle back into the education of animals as well. It is great to have a informative background of understanding, right? Of like species and animals, right? I think that's great. You need to have a basic understanding of knowing the differences between certain animals, different, like instance of snakes, which snakes can be poisonous, which aren't, et cetera, right? So having that book smart is excellent to have in the background. But if I just knew books and you just threw me in a pen with a bunch of these different animals and were like, handle them, do this, do that,
The
I
lines
wouldn't
on
know
the
what
left,
to do
sir.
because I'm strictly just a
Lines
desk guy.
on the left.
I read a shit ton of books and I'm just a desk guy. I don't know one thing to do with animal eye contact, with animal behavior. I don't know how to handle myself in a pen with one because I
Yeah.
only went by the books, right? So I think it's great to have an understanding of books, but I hate the fact when it's like you have two people up for a position in a job and it's like, well, do you have all of this knowledge and background because of all the work you needed from college for 4 years? And it's like, yes, I do, but I have no hands-on experience. So I have no idea what the hell I'm going to do when I'm in there. So it's going to take me a really long time to learn this practice. But here's this other guy who was trained by his family, who knows everything he needs to know from books to hands-on experience, but you're not going to give him the job because he didn't go to college for 4 years.
Okay, buddy.
Like, I do have a problem with that. Like, I don't,
I have
I
a
think it
problem.
should
I
be
wanna say
if you
something.
are good at your job and you have been trained thoroughly, I don't see why you can't be up for the same position, especially if you know more than that person, because technically you do. You literally are in the pen with these animals on top of having the knowledge of what species you're dealing with. So yeah, that guy has an advantage. Shouldn't be about a 4-year piece of paper. Sorry.
No,
in
because
my
I can tell
opinion.
you this. I could even speak on. I can even talk about Justin for a second. Okay.
Yeah, that's
You
a great
can
example.
watch videos on what he does. Okay. You can also go to a class and they can tell you about what he does.
Mhm.
You're not fucking doing it when you get out of there.
No.
You're
No,
not.
it's not.
Now, when Justin takes you in there and sticks you in water where you're neck deep in water and he jumps under bridges and chases shit at you, you have a tendency to learn things. And that's my point. You are, you know, and we all do it. I don't put a lot of stuff out that we do, you know, because I study a lot of different things and because I see the world differently. So here's an example. Give me your version of child abuse, Brittany.
Well, there's a lot of different versions.
No, give me
of child
something
abuse.
that when you hear child abuse, what do you think?
Making
think
your
if
kid
it's
wear a mullet.
I'll challenge you. When is child abuse okay? When is it okay to abuse your child? And who
Never.
makes those rules?
I don't think it's
Never, if
ever
you're
okay to
abusing.
abuse your child.
Well, the public sets a standard that it is okay to abuse your child and it's okay to do it.
Yeah, I agree, but it
It's
should
okay
never
to abuse
be
your
okay.
child. You're allowed to, right? Only
According
if
to
it's
certain
extent.
standards, yeah.
To an extent.
you're
And it
not
depends on
allowed
where you
to-
live.
You're not allowed to sexually assault your child by law.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to beat them by law. I mean, you can spank them, whatever. You're not allowed to beat them or hurt them or whatever. But it's okay to take a 4-year-old and stuff donuts down his face and make the thing so fucking fat it shits when it walks. That's okay. And that's fucking
That's
child
definitely
abuse.
child abuse. Obese
That's
kids.
child
Freedom
abuse
of
too.
But it's not
Yeah.
illegal. They cannot make you stop doing that.
Yeah, but social
So if you take a
services can
normal
step in
baby
at
to
a
the
point.
doctor, right? You take a normal baby to the doctor. They go, oh, this baby's great. Awesome. Let's take the baby home. Right. Great. The next baby comes in. He's got cigarette burns on him. He's got fucking scratches and he's hurt, bruised up. They're like,
Man,
we're
like
calling
party.
in the authorities right now. This
Yeah.
kid's been abused. You bring a fat kid in there, a big fat kid with dookie in his pants because he's got so much going in, it has a hard time coming out. They don't call anybody and go, hey, these parents are
I
stuffing
think they
poison.
do on occasion. I think that there's occasion that they call social services on parents who put their children in dangerous situations like that.
Never
Like
heard of it.
dangerous health. It is true.
Never heard of it
Troy
because
is
I
right.
look
You
at
never
kids-
hear that in the news.
I see
or-
kids all day
I
long.
see it too at the hospital sometimes, and
It's not
You-
fair, Jeff. It's
No,
not
it's
fair.
not.
Those little
It's not.
kids rely on us. And that's
They
not
do.
right.
you got a 15-year-old kid with the heart of a 60-year-old man because it's been
What's up,
squished and
Julie?
and stuff.
And
or
Jeff, think about this, for
sleep
example.
apnea.
It's no more dangerous than to hand your kid a cigarette.
Yep. Obesity is actually
You can
considered.
shove a cheeseburger down his face, and you already know he's obese. Now, listen, I'm not saying that don't get your kid ice cream or treats or whatever. But when your kids are they're 4 years old and they weigh a deuce and a half, that's your fault. So if it's illegal to give your kids
Well-
cigarettes, if it's illegal, and it shouldn't be illegal, then you shouldn't be allowed to do it because they rely. So who's looking out for them?
Absolutely.
Anybody looking out for them?
Well, and that's the problem too. Like I
Our
have a
systems-
problem. Like when the parents are told, this is another big problem I have is like when there are parents that are told by their pediatricians or their doctors, your child has a thyroid problem, your child is diabetic, right? And they're telling them these are the things you need to do to make sure that you watch your child because they could go into a shock and they could die. They could have all these problems. They could have a heart attack by the time they're 9. Like these are important things because they have actual health issues, right? So the pediatrician that these so-called parents go to go to help their child. But yet when the notes are given from the doctor to do the right thing for their kid, they just ignore it. So these poor kids, like I was saying, they're relying on us as the adult because they can't care for themselves. So they're relying on us to make sure that we're watching for their, their spikes. We're watching to make sure they're getting all the right nutrition because of their issues. But there are parents that just don't care. And frankly, I think that's sad. In my opinion, those kids deserve to be in a home where they're being loved and respected in the sense of like they have actual health issues and we need to make sure that they're handled.
Now,
it's just very
now
sad.
here's the flip side of that. I don't really care. You can feed your kid till he explodes. Not my kid. Do what you want with him. Okay. Because I still don't want anybody coming in and telling me what I can and can't do with my family. That's number one.
Yeah, I get it.
But I will tell you this.
This is a
People
tough-
need to educate themselves and other adults about how to make a good society. If you choose to live in a society that you want to be safe for everybody or whatever. And when I use the word safe, I use that lightly because I like danger and I like stress. I think we need it. When we're pushed out of our comfort zone or we're scared or we're stressed, we're growing. Remember that. When you're not, you're stuck in one spot and you're sitting around doing your one thing and you go to your one thing and you become this creature of habit and it becomes this rhythmatic flow. You're not growing anywhere. Now you become a waste to yourself and everybody in your life. Remember that, first of all. But so pain and suffering and failure is extremely incredible, or an incredible part of your life you'd have to have. So, but with that being said, we don't care about other people. When you're driving down the road and you're look at all the cars next to you going by. You don't even know them and you don't care. You don't care.
Nope.
I see car accidents all the time. You don't know if 3 babies were killed in that car. You don't know. You don't care. So the problem is we pick these things that we want to be these warriors over and we become to care about them. And we make big issues of it because it brings us attention when we should just behind the scenes educate each other and be straight. Like if Jeff comes to me and I have a kid, he's like, bro, I've raised a kid. He's 16. You got to be careful with that. I want him to tell me.
Well, sure.
I want him to say, bro, you can't do that. You'll fuck that dude up, man.
Super defensive.
Nobody does that. Nobody cares about that. They just, what story's good? Oh, man burns his son in the microwave out of anger. Let's put it on the news. And they pick all this crap to get your heartstrings pulling, and then they sell you a car on the commercial between those two things. So, I mean, there's so much to that whole thing, but it's okay then. See, it's okay in America. And I've had this conversation with Flavia. It's okay to abuse your kids just if you abuse them the way you're allowed to abuse them. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I'm telling you straight. That is exactly the truth.
I have a problem with it all the way around. Like, I don't do well with it at all.
Well, you have your own children, and Jeff has his children, and you guys worry about your own kids, and that's it. Now, if you're and you see something in your middle, by all means, you step in.
Oh, I would
save the world.
I know, and that's.
Go ahead, Brittany. Go ahead, speak on it because I want.
No, that's the thing. And like you said, you can't go out and save the world, and you have to detach. Like you really do. Like I give so much props and credit to like Jeff's field and the nursing field and the doctor's field because how they have to detach themselves from some of the situations of what they're seeing is a lot.
Oh, and so kids are tough.
Yeah, and I know that a person like me, I can't. Not going to happen. I can't see articles. That's why I tell everybody in our groups, do not send that to me because I will be up all night long. There are just certain things that I know I physically and emotionally can handle. Now, it's not that I can't handle it because I'm going to wallow in self-pity all night long and cry and cry and cry. No, there's like this switch that goes off in me and it's psychotic. And it's like, I need to find this person and literally I'm going to bring a team of like 5 people with me and I'm going to bring popcorn in my own chair and I'm going to watch this person get beat to death. And when they want to die, they don't get to die because of what they did to their kid. I want them to suffer and suffer and suffer and suffer. So like I start like just getting filled with so much anger and hurt for this innocent child that's being affected because I then do look at I look at Finn or Bimini and I look at them and I'm like, if somebody laid a finger on them, like, I don't even feel sorry for you anymore. Like, I will be worse than the Punisher for you. And like, I don't have to know the child to want to handle the situation. As soon as I see a photograph, I'm connected and I'm immediately in the moment and I can't do it. I can't disconnect. I wish I could. I try so hard. So the way that I disconnect is just not watching or seeing because I am a fixer. I'm a control freak. I need to fix the situation. I want to control it and I want to help that kid and I can't. And like Troy's saying, can't fix it. It's out of your control. So it's hard for me. I can't step in and fix the situation. And our justice system is so crooked and crock-eyed and broken that I know that they're not going to fix the situation. So I know that ultimately this poor child is going to go through the clown circus of back and forth with an abuser.
Foster homes, the shitty
Yeah.
parents.
And have to deal with this for the rest of their entire life because we don't have a proper system to be there for our kids. So it's shitty. So I'm pro for our children and get away from this mental health illness shit that's circulating and affecting our kids. Like, no, I'm anti it. And I'm proud to say that because we have to protect our children. We do. Like, abuse is just not okay. There was a video that popped up on my feed and it like popped up because I liked a stupid video about a guy that got bit by a gator in Florida. And they let the gator go. Like, it was like totally like they didn't care about the gator. They like went after this guy because he was antagonizing the gator at like some river with kids and stuff around. Yeah, and it bit him. And so they're like, that had nothing to do with the gator. The gator was undersized. We're not going to hurt the gator, but the guy was affected, right? So I'm like, yeah, I like that. Finally, the gator won. Hero gator, like minding his own business. So anyway, so because I like that shit, then like literally the next video that popped up when I opened my feed was this mom who on a Ring camera from her neighbor was beating the shit out of her 3-year-old, literally picking him up and throwing him against the house wall, 3 years old, drop kicking him in the stomach, punching him in the face. And like, you could see the kid, but he was kind of blurred and he was like staggering and like moving sideways. Everything inside of me boiled. And that's when I realized like I couldn't disconnect from that video for like 2 days. And I was like, these are the problems. Like, I can't. And I'm glad that they show them because people need to be aware that this is happening. So we have to protect our kids. But it's a lot. Like, I can't disconnect. It's hard to just ignore that. Yeah. So then it eats at you at night.
I have to compartmentalize. I can't not in the hospital.
Exactly.
With kids. I try to I try to bank the good things. Like when I save a kid's life, that'll keep me on a high all day. You can't get me off it. And I try to bank that and to think about that at the end of the day, that I saved 8 kids and lost 1, rather than I lost 1. And it happens. We had one the other night that was, they found this 1-year-old unresponsive face down in a pond. Mother was nowhere around. She showed up at the hospital like 2 hours later. Kid was done.
And you know what? That was that kid's time, Brittany. That's it, man. We all got a time, man. All right, we all got a purpose and time.
And the mother should be accountable.
Yep. Yeah, she's a murderer. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. That woman's a murderer. You're irresponsible and you should be charged for murder. You killed your 1-year-old. I'm sorry. It's your fault.
In a way, kids are like a parasite. They need us to survive. They need a host to survive until they're a certain age and they can pick up and do it themselves. You can't just leave oh, thanks, Michelle. You just can't leave a baby in the middle of the jungle and expect it, to be raised by wolves or whatever, or pride of lions, It's just, people don't care. They're too busy watching their soap operas and day drinking and
social media. TikTok. Media. Exactly, Troy. That's what I was just going to say. They're so invested in this. They're not paying attention what their kids are doing. That is like the thing I hate the most when I'm watching these stupid things. And it's like kid eats, what is it? Like the things that go in your dishwasher. Where the fudge were you? Yeah. Where were you and not with your kid while he's chowing down on some Tide Pods in your kitchen? And why don't you have baby secure locks on that shit? Like, it's your fault. Like, these poor things are dying because of your ignorance and you're stupid. I'm sorry.
We're too busy acting like we live in a cartoon doing dumb shit, right?
So doing ridiculous.
Dumb shit in this planet. And I had a friend of mine, we were talking the other day. The new Planet of the Apes is going to be coming out soon. I don't know if you've seen the previous stuff.
A new one?
The fuck?
Okay. They're making a new one?
Oh, yes, dude. Oh, wait. Yeah.
So is this
okay, you have to look it up after we're done. I didn't know either. Sean showed me and we were like, yeah. And you know what's really cool about all that? That the reason they were so successful in being what they did is because their unity, the way they stood by each other, and it was a deal. There was none of that weird stuff going on in that. And we are those primates, but we're so strange now with, I'm going to dress as a unicorn and go to school and you're going to like me. And I'm going to shit in a litter box. As crazy as I can do it, right? That's what we focus on nowadays. We don't focus on what's really going on and how we need to survive and what's up out here, man. We don't do that anymore. We act like a bunch of idiots for the next hot topic that we're going to get into. Now it's the Palestinian people arguing over this. And I just read an article where a protester that wasn't even a Palestinian hit and killed a little old Jewish man because he was Jewish in the head. Killed him. There's a video of him. He's laying on the floor. He's like trying to hold his head. Blood's coming out of his head because he was Jewish. Because what the fuck did he have to do with what's going on over there? Nothing.
Right. Fucking
what
Jews.
do we do here? We pumping in people's heads. Got to be part of something. Get out there. You're going to make a difference. No, you're not. You're going to kill an old man. That's what you did. You didn't
there's no difference. You didn't do shit.
Everybody's in uproars about this. Well, they're killing babies, and they've been killing babies for 2,000 fucking years over there. So shut the fuck up. We've got other things to worry about. Why are we not talking about what we need to do here in the country, right? Make everything better. Take care of your kids a little more. Right. Take some of these ridiculous laws away from people. Lower some of the prices. Stop bullshitting. We got a skin mask, a skinwalker as a president. We don't even know what the fuck he's doing at the time. And when you look at other countries that are aggressive, that's when I'd attack. If it was me.
Oh, for sure.
I'd be like, look, they're a little weak. I mean, we should just take them. They've got a shit ton of hog nose there. We'll kill them and take their snakes.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is like, it's like, it's
weak. If Papa Smurf's coming out to speak for the country, I'm stepping on his ass. We're taking his snakes. That's my point. We have we're so focused on dumb, idiotic, ridiculous shit. I don't care if boys want to paint their nails and wear mascara. Cool, man, go do it. But we have to talk about it on Facebook. And if you get pissed off because someone misidentifies you, then fucking deal with it right there. Don't put it on the internet. Don't be trying to stir up trouble with everybody else. Deal with it right there. Then, hey, you made a mistake. Hey, give the person a chance to apologize. If not, then come to hands, blows, break each other's necks, and move on. We're primates at the end of the day. We don't have time for shit. We're supposed to be surviving and making our next generation stronger. And we're not doing that. Yeah. We're not doing that anymore.
No, we're not. We're not.
We're like, oh, it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay to tell a little kid that's a little fat piece of shit that he looks good and he belongs, because he doesn't. He's a waste of time. Stop lying to them. Fix them. That's my point. We spend so much time. Well, it's okay, baby. You don't have to look like Barbie because, Barbie's just a terrible person because she's pretty. What are we teaching people?
Right. That's not.
It's okay to be big and fat. It's good for you. It's good to be big and beautiful. Is it really though? Is it really? It's not.
They've had doctors that have come out and fought that and said, it's one thing to be like body conscious and confident in who you are in your skin, and that's great. But there is a part where you're pushing and promoting for like obesity in a sense of like health problems for the general public. And as you're a role model, like for me, like if Bimini came to me and was like, Mom, I like this fitness person and I really like idolize her because she's all about eating right and taking care of our body so that we live longer. Like I would encourage that because that's something that is going to help her, like somebody that's helping her stay more focused on staying healthy, the longevity of your age, like living as long as you possibly can, staying active, staying healthy, staying strong, like I would want my kids to do that. I don't want them to.
We don't care about that. What you're talking about doesn't exist. It doesn't matter. You know what we're worried about?
That doesn't mean that I can't teach it to my kids.
We're talking about weakening and destroying each other so that we can be divided.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Troy. Is that we spend too much time worrying about what other people do.
Right. And they put it, like they'll go, hey, here's this thing where this guy punched this girl. We don't know why, but we're going to post it. We're going to get all the women mad. And then you get a whole bunch of women upset about something they really don't know anything about. They don't know the story or what happened. For all you know, he could have caught that girl raping somebody, right? Just for example, you don't know. Mm-hmm. And so they turn you into, oh my God, those are man haters and women's rights. We're going to get rights and we're going to do that and blah, blah, blah. Look, everybody should be equal, period. End of story. That should be one flat line across the board. But we go after people like, right? We're going to say, well, let's just go after Trump because he said he grabs them by the pussy. Well, the man's a little stressed out, so he grabs a couple here and there. I mean,
first of all,
one thing you got to grab one, Brittany, once in a while when John comes.
I'm disagreeing with you on this one. Hold on. All I want to say is, and I know that this is going to backfire me, and
but it's just about everything because I'm not
saying.
No,
I don't mean backfire with you.
I'm just using it as an example.
No, I'm not saying that. Like, I won't backfire in this group, but probably some women somewhere will be like, what did she just say? But in my opinion, but listen, this is my opinion. Let me state this first. My opinion. If you are an adult woman putting yourself into a position with any man and that man does something to you, you at that moment have a right to say something in that moment. If you allow it to continue to happen, and you don't stop it and it happens, you can't come back and say, woe is me. So for me, by him saying that, there are certain women in the world that don't care if he would do that to them. Like, they just truly don't care.
That's right.
I don't think he's a bad guy. Sorry, for just being a man, for saying that statement. Some guys
When
do
guys
that.
are
Some
around,
guys
they
are
say
just
stupid
talking.
shit.
They're saying stupid stuff.
But-
If you go into a frat house right now, well, maybe not right now. Let's go back maybe 10, 20 years. Let's go back.
It would not.
I
You don't want
guarantee-
to listen to it.
Exactly. It would be that type of conversation. So again, you just have a
Or they're
very
roofing on
young.
people raping them. I mean, there's that.
I'm just saying, you have a young guy talking the crap with another
You're right, but
guy.
let me say something, Birdie, because I want to clear that real quick for everybody. I
Don't
want to
listen
say
to your
this. I am
husband's
not justifying
conversations.
any behavior that is. I'm not saying that that is condonable behavior. I'm not saying that. Right?
I agree.
Locker
Yeah.
room talk. Reality's reality. I'm sure. I already
For
know.
sure.
I'm sure that Trump, with his money, doesn't have to do anything forced. First of all, there's always going to be a gold digger out there, buddy.
Exactly.
Listen.
Come on.
If I
deny
a
it.
old lady, dude, and she was going to give me $1 million to bust that out, listen here, bud, write me that check. Give me a snorkel. I'm going in. I'm just telling you. So the bottom line is, it's all about we
No,
focus
Michelle,
on
of course not.
what someone does sexually, okay? Unless it's like horrible raping or child molesting, but whatever you want to
That's
do,
not what I'm
that has
talking about.
nothing to do with what you do for a business. What I do sexually, what Jeff does sexually, what you do sexually has nothing to do with what you do in your business. We're like, well,
Oh, I breathe though.
yeah, listen to Paranormal Mama talk about Bigfoot because she did it doggy style last night and ate whipped cream. Oh, well, what the
Oh
fuck?
my God.
She's been laying on her back. Why in the hell is she sticking up her ass in the air? It makes no
It's
sense.
stupid, man. It's
It's
stupid.
the
And I think
stupidest
that
thing I've ever heard. Stupid, stupid, stupid.
But my whole thing is, though,
This
name
is
one
wrong.
president that
Welcome.
didn't do something inappropriate with women.
Abraham Lincoln. I don't
Do
know.
you know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
And I
Okay,
just
maybe
saw a
Abe.
video.
Good old Abe.
Exactly. Abe was a piece of
just
shit,
saw a
I hear.
video of Biden. He's bubble gum and a little girl's shoulder. He's going.
Yeah, and everybody's like,
my
that's
baby.
not right.
Please grab me by the pussy. Do not bubble gum my baby.
Bubble, come on, my baby.
First of
I'm
all,
serious, dude.
listen, I'm
That's
a
what I'm talking
I'm
about.
a
Like,
mom, and
why do
I
we
love
focus on stupid
babies.
shit like that? Why do we
No.
do that? It's so
First of
backwards,
all-
folks. If you just turn on and look, why don't we go back to during the Obama administration when Biden sat there and said that gay people should not be married and they need to deal with it. It's a man
Yeah.
and woman only. He said
Oh,
that.
they all
Now he flipped the
flip-flop,
switch,
dude.
but we don't talk about that. Now, if Trump had said that, they'd have gone
Oh.
after him because they don't want
Yeah.
anybody that's loudmouth or rude like me or you or Jeff. It doesn't matter what side you're on. They don't want
Yeah.
that. They want
Yeah.
a puppet. But we're
Yeah.
Yeah,
forgetting
no,
about
I-
all this. So we pick one or two little things to trash everybody. And
It's on both
it
sides.
blows me away. But
Yeah.
if you're favored, if you're in favor at that time,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Troy and Jeff can urinate on the donuts. We don't care. They're doing well
No,
right now.
just look away.
All right.
Just
It's
look away.
okay. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, and that's what I
Nobody
mean. And
cares.
we're stupid because we're like this. This is us in the world, all of us. Can you believe what they just said? Oh my God, I'm so pissed off.
Yeah, no, there's way
How many
scarier
people
stuff
just go
from
work
who
up
the
their dead
president
now, dude?
fucks and grabs and whatever else, you know. I mean,
Y'all
if
look
we
it
end
up.
up with one,
Bubble gumming.
if we end up with one, he could just launch some fucking nuclear war out of senility and dementia, and the other one wants to fucking take all the powers of Congress and put him in the president's lap. So there's no winner, man. It's heads.
No,
you know,
but there's
heads
never
they
going to
win,
be, and there
tails
never
lose.
Look.
has been. Never.
Look,
What's
personal
that?
opinion here. I feel, and I think that most people can agree. When it comes to being a president, you have to be a dog eat dog businessman. I'm sorry. You have to look at your country as a business, and you have to say,
Agreed.
I'm going to be
On
superior.
either side of the spectrum.
Right, on either side. I don't care. I'm just saying in general, presidency, right? I'm not saying who we're talking about. I'm just saying looking at who I would want as a presidential candidate for the United States. I would want a businessman. And why I say this is because a strong-headed, driven businessman is going to do whatever he can to build up his business to make sure that it is superior to all of the other businesses. And he's
the
going to
whatever I'm
do
saying that bothers me, Britt. It's read about.
I'm not talking about Trump. I'm just talking in
Oh.
general. I'm not saying Trump or Biden or anybody.
I'd vote for you.
I'm just saying
I want
just
Craig.
a
He's good
president,
businessman.
just a businessman.
Why
It
can't we
has
love
to
you
be
too?
somebody who knows business.
It's also
because
got to be somebody who knows how to run a country, though. It's a whole different ball game.
but it still
Correct.
falls under business, because you still have, we need to be superior. If we weaken and we show any type of crippling, which we are currently, we are an easy takeover. They don't need to bring in bombs. They can come in psychologically within our schools. They can come in within our systems. They can even attack
That's
us
a scary
via our
thing.
phones. Okay.
That's a scary thing.
So
Yeah, but
we
the
need to
president's not
have,
going to do anything about that.
the president still has a authority and a presence, and that fear of what our other nations
That's
need
why I
to
like
look
Nixon.
at. That's all I'm saying. So with a businessman mentality, in the way that they verbalize their plans, in the way that they plan to make a stance for their country,
Or
it
vampire
shows
slayer like Lincoln.
we don't really know how this guy is going to play his cards as a businessman. So we need to figure him out, which allows them to give that opportunity. However, when you have a guy running as president where they're like, oh my God, like seriously, I think it's The Walking Dead. We could literally come over and take over that country tomorrow because it crippled everything. So you still have to have a figurehead who
I
is
also
in a
think,
power
Brittany,
seat
in the
as a
same
businessman. You
I
have
also
to.
think that he doesn't really do much of anything, and they just pick
Right.
things apart on each side
Oh,
that they
he's
want
a
to do to
puppet.
everybody. But no,
He is.
all of them
They're all
are. And I
puppets.
think that it needs to come back to us, the people. The people need to come back to what they want, and they
Maybe
need to
back
start
in the
putting
day,
that
not
shit
so
through.
much now.
Yeah, the president should be pretty hands off. It's the legislative branch that should be making a lot of the decisions. That's why Congress exists. Without that, we don't need a Congress.
First of all, I don't know why we base any type of politics around gay marriage or
Agreed. It's a
abortion,
non-issue.
because I don't care
Has
if you're gay or
nothing to
gay and you
do
want to
with
get
it.
married. And I know some people get
Exactly.
mad in this, abortions, whatever, dude. That's on you. That's your life. Do what you want. You want to be responsible. That's you. That's you. Right? That's your life. You do it to yourself.
Well,
Okay?
just don't
standing
make
here
us pay for
Eat
it.
a
That's
bunch of
all I
people
gotta
in
say.
donuts and kill them
You
in the
don't
long run,
agree.
then that's it.
See?
You can kill, and you should be able to do that too. That's my point. Now they're like, so we do this and we pick these little things to jab at people with. Oh, well, you can't have abortion. So this guy said no. So he's a piece of shit. Let's vote against him.
Not in Ohio anymore. Now you
can't do
can
this.
forever.
That's stupid. What's that?
Ohio just ratified, put it in their constitution, the right to abortion, so it cannot be taken away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We
Crazy,
shouldn't
right?
be worried about that. That's none of our fucking business, dude. That is none of our business.
I agree,
None of our
Craig.
business. And that's why I always have this thing, and I go, you know what's funny to me about the whole United States? And all these people go, you hear they want to cut us out, they want to lower the population and kill us all.
Oh, dude, that's the
Oh,
most
do they?
stupid thing
Well, they
ever.
want to make abortion illegal, so we're shooting them out every 10 minutes. So how is that fucking? Why wouldn't it be like, hey, abortion's legal all the way up to birth? You can just chop the fucking thing's head off and you're done. Because they could pass that if they wanted to. They could.
Well,
I
they've
don't
they've
think
tried.
one person's like,
Yeah,
oh,
they have
Let's
tried,
go.
but that's
They're
hard.
gonna get us.
I think that it should be a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, if you're
you know.
breeding snakes and you want to cull them, wouldn't you want them to stop producing?
Yeah, well, that's, if I call them, they usually do.
That's what I'm saying, but you're not doing it right. So why would you make abortion completely legal if you're trying to eliminate the population? It makes no sense. So these people are like, oh,
No, they've been saying they've been trying to eliminate the population through COVID, through vaccines,
Yeah,
through
but listen to this.
cars.
When I was researching now, more babies are born than people die during the day. So why wouldn't you leave abortion legal so you could get more daddies going on? That's what I'm trying to say. It's so stupid, and we all buy
Because it
into it.
doesn't
Like,
fit
hey,
the
let me
party
bite that
lines,
chocolate
right.
bar and hang on. It's
It's
dumb.
pandering. It's pandering to a base.
It's funny
And the
too
only
that you
reason
say
I
that.
think sometimes, Brittany, I think Trump is funny is because the shit he says makes me laugh. And sometimes I need a
Well,
good
of
laugh.
course,
Oh, he's
of
ridiculous.
course.
No doubt about it.
When
Of
he comes
course.
out, like when he pretends to be Biden and he walks off the stage or into the wall, dude, I just love it.
Of
There's
course,
so much entertainment up there right now, and nobody realizes it.
course.
So
of course.
it's not about, oh, I want these people running my country. We're not going to save it. We're not stopping what's going on up there. Nothing. No matter me, you, and Brett, and Jeff.
No, it doesn't matter. who
Everybody
you
could go
elect
stand in a marching
doesn't
line. It
go
ain't
on.
stopping. They're going to do it anyways.
Right?
No,
The
of
deep
course.
state is the deep state. It's not the deep Democrats and it's not the deep Republicans. It's all those fuckers. You know, and Craig's
Yeah.
got it right too. It's executive orders and things like that, and fistful of presidential pardons. It's like carte blanche to do whatever you want. I mean, you know, the executive. I mean, excuse me, the legislative branch is there for a reason. You know,
Dan, I
they're
bet
there
you
to
do.
make the laws and to make sure the laws are fair for everybody.
I
Right.
got
You know,
you.
so that's what it should be about. The president has veto power, but the president is not there to make laws. They're in the executive branch. They're not in the
Right.
legislature, the legislative branch.
I agree with you, Jeff. 100%.
Yep.
So we
Yeah.
just got, like I said, good night, Julie. We got to get our
Good night,
good night, Julie. We got to get all of our priorities straight and work it out. Stay out of other people's business. That's
Well, what's
all.
funny?
Do
What's
you
funny?
and stay out of other people's business unless it's hurting somebody.
Agreed.
That's it.
Do no harm.
What's funny is like in my research for like I look back at like retro articles and vintage and retro interviews and stuff like that with like different people in position at different times, right? And so I actually found a segment from like it was like late 1970s, early 1980s, and it was from J. Allen Hynek, and he mentioned literally what they were dealing with at that time. I think people are just they don't realize it because they don't really know history. They don't read the books. Like they don't remember, they don't know. And it's really interesting to me where like somebody nowadays who's in college at the age of like 22 will tell somebody who lived through the 60s what it was like. I can't stand that. Like I would never tell my mom, you don't know what the 60s was like. Oh my God. Well, yeah, she would. She lived it. But it's funny to me because the debates and the conversations that they were having at the time was nuclear warfare. It was also the worry of overpopulation and population control and how to do so.
It's the same thing.
So it's funny to me that we forget that. And so they're like, it's new. Everybody, they're trying to kill off the population now. And it's like, nope, this has been going on for a really long time. And if you like just did your research and looked and weren't reading off Wikipedia and what TikTok's telling you, you would see that, or in Facebook, you would see the history here of like, this is repetitive history happening over and again. And the best way for me to explain it is go to Target, right? Go to the store Target and watch the fashion trend every year. You go back a year in the fashion trend. All of a sudden you see the 60s come out. You see the 70s come out. You see the 80s come out. You see the 90s come out. It is repetitiveness of the repeat of how we work in our culture. So it's the same way with what we hear in the same things. We have global warming. It's been happening for so long. Scientists have come out and said, look, we've been dealing with global warming for a long time. It's nothing to be concerned of. We're way away from anything happening to the planet, but it's a major concern. We have to all go to electric. No bullshit. We're still like thousands of years away from massive global warming.
Worse to the atmosphere to go electric.
Exactly. And here's the stupidity.
To charge the batteries. See? It never makes any sense.
But here's the other stupidity part of it, right? So like because this is something that I think about.
$65,000. Brittany, you want to tell me?
Well, no, you're stuck. You're screwed. But here are other things, right? So because of my field, these are things that I do look into and research into because I have to better understand where the stance is with the government, especially within the Pentagon, right? So think about what it could potentially mean for us as a society, right? If we no longer have control in a sense over our smart vehicles, they can have the option at some point to stop your vehicle from working.
Sure, of course.
Right. So they now have control over you to an extent.
Yes, they could.
A little bit. I'm just saying this is all possible reactions of what some theories are of why there is concerns. However, what I look at is they talked about all of these things are hurting the atmosphere. Cows are killing the atmosphere because they're farting and burping. Holy shit. But guess what?
Deers do it too.
Oh, deers. Yeah. But guess what? I want you to think about this, people. When we were in lockdown in COVID, all the animals, all the cows, they were still farting. And guess what? They were still out in nature. They were not in barns. They weren't in lockdown. Okay. They were not being withheld in the house, unable to go anywhere. We were. And in that short 4-month span, our planet did like a 180. Our atmosphere was cleaner. California for the first time.
Fish were coming back. I saw that.
In California, for the first time in decades, they didn't have the heavy amount of smog that they have all the time from the pollutions of California. So it came out through studies that we were the problem. Oh, no shit.
Oh, we've always been the problem.
Really? So it was fascinating to see that these so-called theories that they're trying to throw at us now as what's killing the atmosphere and what's killing the planet didn't kill it when we were on lockdown. It proved their theory negative, false, dead in the water, because it proved that what we're doing and what we were doing was killing it. And the animals had nothing to do with it.
Animals sure came all around a lot too during that. I did see a lot more stuff.
They did.
It was like, and then even over in other countries, right, where they hadn't seen certain species of animals in years, they were showing up in some
Australia.
It was really cool. I mean, there was some really neat stuff. So that's my point, Brittany. We always try to argue with our own common sense. And
Yeah.
It's like we always second guess ourselves because we've been taught to, and we need to chill out with that. But let me get off such an aggressive topic, and let's talk about this. So 50 cryptids, one per state. You ready for the most famous, Brittany?
Okay.
Gotta be Bigfoot.
No. It's per state.
Not.
I'm going to give you everything, the top thing for each state. It's their cryptids, Jeff. It's kind of cool. So Alabama is White Thing. What is White Thing, Brittany? I looked it up. It's like
It's if I'm correct, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, because to remember I have an A through Z cryptid book, and it's really hard to remember all of them. White Thing, isn't that like it almost looks like a person, but it's very white and slender, almost like an albino Bigfoot, but it has no hair.
Right.
Correct? Is that what
Right.
I mean? It's really long,
Outer.
has no like sexual orientation, kind of just like a really weird
it's
white
an
elongated
albino or redhead
creature
kid running around. That's what I think.
scaring people for fun.
So we have the Tizaruk of Alaska.
Oh, that was a Native American thing.
Okay. I'm going to run through them because I want to
Like
get
a Yeti, right?
Right, Brittany? Is it like a Yeti?
No, and it was more like a spiritual monster. Kind of, because they look at Bigfoot like a spiritual monster too, but not necessarily like a Bigfoot.
Yeah,
It's kind
weird
of like
looking.
a giant,
Yeah.
weird thing. Yeah.
I know Florida.
Arizona has the Mogollon monster.
That's a type of Bigfoot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's they
Arkansas
all have, like,
or Arkansas, right? Has the Fook monster. The Fook that thing, man. The Fook monster. California has the Tahoe Tessie. Why are you laughing about Fookie?
because you said
Mother
that
Fooker.
thing.
That's the Fook monster. He
I
goes,
think
It's not a fuck monster.
I swear, I think that's how these things get named. Somebody gets so scared and they're like, "What? What's that
What
white
the
thing?"
I'm making a joke about it. I believe it's the folk monster. It's Fouke, the folk monster or Fook monster. The way they pronounced it today when they were talking about it was Fook monster.
Oh,
So it
that
could have
hurt
been just
my
the way
head.
they were saying it. So you have Tahoe Tessie in California. Now Colorado has the Slide Rock Bolter.
The Slide Rock. What is it?
The Slide Rock Bolter. And I was wondering if
Where is this?
Bolter with a B.
yeah, with a B. Slide
Colorado.
Rock Bolter. Yes, sir. In Colorado. And do you remember when they filmed that so-called Bigfoot that was very tall and he was running
Up
down
the
those
mountain.
boulders so fast, and they did the radar thing on it, and they're like, we don't know what the fuck that is unless they've got an NBA player out there running. That's some strides, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's that. Connecticut has the melon heads.
So okay.
The melon heads. I don't remember
Yeah?
the melon heads.
I thought that was a band.
No.
And then Delaware has the Swanadil merman, the Zawanadil merman.
Yep.
Maybe that's
Right?
where Biden started as a merman. He's from Delaware, isn't he?
Florida, we all know what Florida is.
Thanks,
What do you think
David.
Florida is? Come on, y'all know it.
Oh, skunk ape.
Skunk ape.
100%, Jeff. And every research I looked at, every single state always went back to skunk ape here, stink apes. And stuff.
Yeah, of course.
I think
Idaho,
Louisiana is the
Charlotte.
Rougarou. Huh?
The Charlie. So that's like the
Yeah.
sharding Charlie. What is that?
That's just-
Where's that from, Troy?
Idaho.
Idaho.
The Charlie.
It's got to be some kind of
What I'm
potato
going to do
monster.
is I am going to copy and send you this list to both of you.
Charlie.
Oh.
Because everybody has to look these animals up because some of them you're like, come on now, nobody saw
Hold on,
that.
let me get my book because they also have photos. Hold on, let me see if I can match some. Hold on.
Well, we got a couple minutes, so hurry up. Indiana is the beast
You
of
have to
Booster.
understand, like I'm all about books. You have to know some of
All
this
right.
stuff. Like
Look up the Idaho Charlie.
the
I wanna see
Idaho
what it is.
Charlie.
Chucky looks upset about it, dude. He looks upset right now about it. It's all right, Chucky.
All right, Chuck.
First of all, that's why they
He
call it
said
A to Z.
playtime's over, and he kept
I
that
just want to
face
show
on.
you guys. This is A to Z. These are all cryptids. All of
Okay.
these. So when
So would
somebody
you
says
please-
you don't know every cryptid, listen, a-hole. Do you see all of these cryptids? It's a lot to memorize, and you have to know what they like and what they look like
Brittany,
and what their diet is.
Look
What?
up the dam Zawalda. You already said that one. What is the Georgia has the Alta Mahamaha? What's that?
That's gotta be
What the
native.
fuck?
The Alt Mahamaha. It's on here.
The Alta Hamaha. Hold on. So that would be
Alta
starting with an
Mahaha.
A?
Alta Mahamaha.
Sounds like drunk people talking. Oh, so Mahamaha.
That
Huh.
doesn't. What is I don't know. You'll have to send it to me.
ALTAM, Alta,
Alta.
AHA.
That must be something new because that is not in this.
So Hawaii has the Menahoon.
Menahoon.
Yeah. But I really want to know who Charlie is. What is a Charlie?
Charlie. I have to
Idaho.
find my S's. My S's. My
I thought she was at your house last weekend, Charlie.
Yeah, right. That's it.
Shunker.
It was a Charlie.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. A Charlie. I know Idaho is known for their Bigfoot. Like known for their Bigfoot.
Indiana has the beast of Busco.
Now here's what's interesting. Georgia's known for what?
Let me go back to the goddamn Altamaha.
That's really strange because literally Georgia is known for having their own version of like Lake Champ. Like they have their own Nessie. Like they are known for their own Nessie. Georgia, just so we're all clear. And I've been there, and it's the cutest little thing ever. It's this tiny little thing that was seen back in the day. It looked like a little dinosaur.
Alta.
Yeah. The beast of Busco in Indiana. The beast of Busco.
On your list, do you have the Fresno night crawlers?
And you keep stopping me. I only got 50 to get through.
Bitch. Okay, keep
What
going.
about the Enfield Horror of Illinois? The Enfield Horror.
The Enfield Horror of
Not
Illinois?
horror like the kind with the red light bulb that you stick things in, but horror. Movie, yeah.
I said horror. It's the way I say horror. I'm sorry. Horror.
What I like is, I'm going to try to say this, but I think my favorite that I've got to so far, and I think Jeff might like this too. Kansas. Sinkhole Sam.
Sinkhole Sam.
These are the most ridiculous things. These are like literally like off the beaten path. You know, I will tell you.
Kentucky has the Kelly Little Green Men.
Oh yes, because that was an actual alien encounter that happened in the 50s, and that's where they were.
And I know Louisiana. You know Louisiana.
Right?
Yep, you're right, Jeff. Exactly. So these are pretty true. I just didn't do enough research on other states that I don't like, so I need to look into other states.
Yeah, the Rugger is like a swamp chupacabra.
And the Maine has like the thing they sold at Home Depot this year. Maine has the Spectre Moose.
And don't forget about the Jersey Devil.
Hello. You're not there yet, Brittany. You're ruining it for everyone.
The freaking
Maryland has Chessie.
Chessie's at the Chesapeake Bay Nessie.
Oh my god.
Massachusetts is the Dover Demon.
The Dover Demon,
the Dover Demon. It's like a demon dog. Demon. Yeah, demon
Minnesota
dog.
has a cool one, the Wendigo.
Oh, the Wendigo.
The Wendigo ate my baby.
That's right. That's a cross between a dingo
Mississippi has the Pascagoula River Aliens.
I had to go there. What?
Mississippi has the Pascagoula River Indians.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. The Pascagoula River Alien Indians, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Missouri has the Momo.
The Momo.
Wait, I think oh, yeah, the Momo. Yeah. 220.
And then Montana has the Shunkawarkin.
The Shunkawarkin.
That's a Shunkawarkin up there, man. That's a Shunka burning love.
Shunkawarkin.
So that would be a lake monster, Troy.
You know what's got going up there in New Hampshire? Let's talk about New Hampshire. Let me park the car. I'm going to make a sandwich, and I'm going to tell you what we got. We got the wood devils up here. You ever seen a wood devil? Some bitches just come right out and grab you in a tickler, and then they run back out there like that here, up here in New Hampshire. That's New Hampshire's.
New Hampshire.
Obviously, Jersey does state the Jersey Devil. It does, Jeff.
Yep.
New Mexico has the Territorns. What's that, Brittany?
The what?
Which one?
The Territorns in New Mexico.
I figured it would be a chupacabra in New Mexico.
New York has Champy.
Yep. Lake Champ. Good old Lake Nessie up there.
North Carolina has the Beast of Baldenboro. The Beast of Baldenboro.
Beast and Bulb. That sounds like a knockoff of Beast of Bray Road.
North Dakota has the Thunderbird.
Yep, they do. The legendary.
These are all cryptid animals. It's not like one specific. It's a cryptid thing that is documented. Doesn't mean that it's not. There's a lot of cryptid things.
There's a lot.
One of the most random things. Like Oregon has Colossal Claude. What does that mean? He's got a big dink shirt cock in it. What's
Colossal Claude. That sounds like the
Colossal Claude.
And then Pennsylvania has the Squonk.
Is that like a squatch?
And Rhode Island has Vampire Mercy Brown.
See, they're not even just cryptid. These are like some like weird one-offs.
That's like the Lizard Man of Scape One Swamp.
There's a lizard man here up the road too in Florida, by the way. Just so you know, we have a lizard man.
South
in
Dakota's the Takahui, and that is the Takahui is a Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee wild man.
'Cause
Texas is the
Bigfoot is everywhere.
chupacabra, Jeff.
Yep.
We're almost there. Utah, Bear Lake Monster. Vermont, the Northfield Pigman.
The Bear Lake
Virginia,
Monster.
Salad Gangster. Washington, just plain old Bigfoot. Sorry, Washington. You got a sorry ass.
Well, they're known for that. That's where it coined. Bigfoot was coined originally, was in Washington.
West Virginia has
Ayo,
the Mothman.
which I think was an
Mhm.
alien. So we'll just go with
Wisconsin
that.
has the Beast of Bray Road,
Which is the werewolf. I love
Wyoming,
the Beast of Bray
which
Road.
I've seen these. I know they exist. Jackalopes.
Oh yeah, jackalope.
Good old-fashioned jackalope.
See, here's the problem, right? So, like, for instance, the Moa birds, they're also considered a cryptid, right? But they were real, they existed, there they are. But it's
Well, they're
just
definitely
funny
not
to me.
cryptid. They were hunted to extinction, the Momo. I'm understanding.
Narwhals were considered cryptids, right? For
I
a
get it,
while.
but yeah, anything that's like the
Unusual.
platypus would be considered a cryptid. Because look at a platypus. If you look at a platypus, you'd
Oh
be
yeah,
like,
it's
"What
got a
the
beak.
fudge?"
It's got a poison spur.
So I gotta
It's a
say, I'm gonna
mammal
send
that
this to
lays
you guys.
eggs.
I want you to see. I want to send this to you.
Right. But that's the thing, like,
because I want you guys to listen. The mythical creatures of the Bible. There's a book on Amazon called "The Mythical Creatures of the Bible."
mhm,
I think the Jews are
Got
one of
some
those.
really good things in here.
that's
It's
cool.
got a lot of them. It's got a lot of really cool stuff that was only seen and spoken of in the Bible. These mythical creatures. So some of them are really, really cool, and I think the book would be a really good addition to your office, Brittany.
I'm doing it right now. I'm buying it right now. Look at this room. Boom. Done.
Are you buying it?
Sure did.
How come you didn't buy two and get one for me and Jeff, or three, so we could all have one? You're
Well, I haven't,
you
I
know what?
haven't said
You're
it
like
through yet. I
That's
haven't said
just
it through yet.
terrible. It's only $11.99, but it would be a neat book to have to go through because it's very interesting.
Here, I can get one for you. I'll spit it through.
I like weird books like that. I think they're really cool.
I just have to go back and edit my
So there's
order.
that. And so some of those mythical creatures are fun, and we can touch on some of
Yeah,
those
no,
later.
I like the cryptids.
That's the thing is, like, when it comes to cryptids, like, everybody, like, I don't like when people are like, that's just like, here, like, for instance, like, here's my Mothman stuff, right? Like, God love Mothman. I have him. There he is. But for me, it's like, when it comes to cryptids, I just think people need to be a little more open-minded. Like, they immediately think monsters and like mayhem and these things aren't real. And like somebody saw Godzilla. It's like, no, like literally these could just be unidentified animals. And you listen and like look up research done in Papua New Guinea, your mind's going to be blown. They find new species of animals all the time in Papua New Guinea.
Like there's Sinkhole Sam, but there's Stinkhole Sam in Walmart. Stinkhole Sam, like you can smell him sometimes, but
That's
you
a
don't know
whole other type of cryptid.
those cryptids. If you walk into Walmart at night, like right before 11, there's a Stinkhole Sam in there. I'm telling you.
I have a lot of cryptids.
But that's let me thank everybody because we're actually over the hour. We'll talk about more about cryptids. Let's pick right now before we get off the air. I want to do it because I want to look up the Maine Spectre moose. I want to know what that. I'm going to learn about the
Maine
spectre.
Spectre moose.
Spectre
Got it.
moose, sure.
And then what do you want, Brittany? You want the chassis from Maryland or the chassis? I know Massachusetts has the Dover Demon. I think that's a cool one for Jeff if he likes.
I was thinking the Rougarou, but I could do the
yes.
Dover too.
No, let's do the Rougarou.
No, do the Rougarou. That one's a good one.
I like that one.
Yeah, I think I only said Mass because I know you lived up there, man. You like
bring you a whole lot of yeah.
That's why I said, well, fuck, Jeff gets a living Mass. Not only
And
that,
I grew up in
they
Connecticut.
got a Dover Demon and we got a skunk ape.
I will bring to the table the night crawlers of Fresno. I love my Fresno
All
night
right,
crawlers.
Brittany, I sent you a new bathroom sign via text, and I sent it to Troy and everybody else too. It's a little Bigfoot action. It might not come up till there's a couple different ones. It might be the second one. Let's see. It's on Temu.
I love Temu. Oh, you should. If you buy anything on Temu, let me know. I am an affiliate, so I have codes, and you'll get discounts.
Oh, cool! I actually just bought my first round of stuff from there. I bought a bunch of canvas prints and stuff from a new crib. Oh, you saw the Bigfoot on the shitter one?
Yeah. Well, crap.
Well, crap. Look at that, be perfect for your office bathroom.
Oh, that would be so good for Brittany's bathroom in her guest bathroom.
I was trying to find it. That's why I came across that. They had this huge, like, full-length over couch, like Bigfoot laying down in like a cheesecake pose. Pretty badass.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know what I want to do? I want to buy a Bigfoot costume, stuff it, and then strap it to the roof of my car. I think I mentioned that last week. I
Harry and the
seriously want to
Hendersons
do
action?
it. Yes, I so badly want that on the roof of my. I just think it would look so awesome. Like people would be like, and it says Bigfoot research vehicle and crash retrieval vehicle. So like, could you imagine like people seeing that and they see like this blacked out
That'd be awesome.
Yukon? They'd be like, "Oh my god, I wonder if that's a real
It's
Bigfoot."
Bigfoot.
It's Bigfoot. It's Harry and the Hendersons. Except mine's Henry.
Well, I have a stinkhole here. Stinkhole Dan actually
Henry.
stays here in Ocean. We call him Surecock Dan too. He Surecocks it. He's Surecock. But Surecock Dan's here. Thank you guys for coming out to the Motley Croc show and hanging out with Jeff and Brittany and myself. We'll get the whole gang together next week. Probably we'll get everybody back in. There's just been a lot going on. So I'm glad you guys made it. As always,
I might not be here next week. It's the 15th, okay. Right?
I think is it?
If it's the 15th, I won't be here because I got to work.
Maybe. Bye, Corey.
But if not, I'll do the Rogaroo the week after.
I'll see you Saturday, Corey.
Well, we should save it for the episode where we all can bring a cryptid to the table then.
I will. I won't do that episode. We'll wait.
Yeah.
We'll definitely wait for that for sure, 100%. Yeah, the Tampa Convention Center, Kim told me, is where the Oddity show is.
Oh man, I'm bummed. I wish I could go.
Night, Craig.
We'll be out at the Sarasota Jungle Gardens on Saturday. I'll be out there with Flavio. We'll be doing some things out there. So if you guys want to come out and see what's going on out there, that'd be kind of cool too.
Crew.
We're going to go in there and mess with Corey. We're going to wrestle Corey in the arena.
Pit.
Yeah, probably not though, but it would be fun, Corey. I'd wrestle you in the arena. Anyways, we will see you guys next week. Dan said he's going to see you at Repticon, Jeff, so he'll be over at your.
I will see you there, brother.
Hey, what's this? Hey, what is that? Can I? Will it do this? What do you think if I put? Hey, so you'll have to deal with him. I'm sorry, but he's a good guy.
He's a good boy, that Dan.
Dan was.
Yeah,
fun
we'll see you guys next week. If it is the 15th, Jeff, if it ends up being the 15th, I won't see you, but we'll definitely you'll be here in spirit. We'll do that, and then we'll wait till the following show and we'll talk about the cryptids. I'll leave us enough time to make that stuff up.
Hell yeah, I'm down.
The Spectrum Moose, the Rogaroo, and what are you bringing? The aliens with ding dongs?
The Fresno. They're actually known through Native American culture. The Fresno night crawlers. They literally look like like somebody took a white balloon head and put it in white pants.
I'll leave you with this. I have come in contact with the Haribo night crawlers. Have you ever seen those?
Oh yeah, dude. I've had it in my mouth when I'm out looking.
No.
The Haribo night crawlers. Yeah. If you go to like 7-Elevens or anything like that, you can find them there.
Oh, this is not right. That's not.
They're Haribo, dude. Haribo night crawlers. I'm not kidding you. Some of them have magic powder on them, and it makes them like tangy. It's pretty good.
Oh, that was not us.
Right on.
Anyways, well, have a good night, folks. We appreciate everybody coming. You all hang out for a second. We're going to go ahead and get off the air. Thanks for all the support. We love you guys coming in, and Josh around. We love it. And yeah, we're going to have a good time. We'll see you next week. Everybody be safe.
And don't judge me for my passion.
Her passion.